Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather. We've got a storm rolling out of Montana, Idaho, into Wyoming, Utah, and Colorado. That's one of the things on my list. That's going to run basically all of today through the 11th. It'll probably finish up early on the 11th in southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. And then the storm track is going to shift. It's going to shift up to the Pacific Northwest, and we're going to see some big totals up there with a weak atmospheric river setup into the Pacific Northwest, parts of BC. Some of the moisture will actually spill over into parts of Banff and then down into parts of Idaho and also into western Montana as well down the road. There may be a colder storm for the Northeast on the 12th. That's kind of the way things are trending, so that would bump up the totals because yesterday I talked about how a lot of the totals will be cut if all the storms were warmer. But if this one pans out and it's colder, we could see some better totals for the Northeast. So I'll look at that one coming up. Let me just show you what it's doing right now. So it's snowing up in Big Sky. They've had like 7 inches in the last 24 hours. Nice view up there. That snow coming down. That's the storm system that's going to be dropping down into Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. Let me just show you what the pattern is here quickly on water vapor. So a couple of big storms right there. Amplified pattern, dip in the jet across the west, and then running out into the northeast. So there is your front basically coming down, and then it will be moving into Utah, Colorado, and northern New Mexico. There's a big low here, another low here. Now, all of this is what's going to be for the Pacific Northwest. That's going to set up and just absolutely nail the Pacific Northwest down the road. After this storm system moves in to the Intermountain West and leaves, then it's up to the Pacific Northwest. All right, so let me show you what I'm thinking about. Well, first of all, let me show you what the GFS thinks to give you another perspective here on this. Let me just roll this into Wednesday morning. There's your storm system and cold front coming through Wyoming down into Utah, Colorado. So that's Wednesday morning. There's Wednesday night. Here's Thursday morning. And still snowing in Colorado, southern Utah, northern New Mexico. And by Thursday night, Friday morning, here's the 11th, the morning of the 11th, the snow ending in northern New Mexico and everything moving out and away. Let me show you what this could turn into for the Northeast. So here is the morning of the 12th. You see the low pressure developing off the coast, a 980 something there, 985. That could be a big one. Now that would produce a better round of snow for the Northeast. Look at that deeper blue up there on the 12th. That's why I've decided to change and increase some of my totals for the Northeast. That could be a heck of a storm. And then it moves away with a lot of wind. Back out in the west, notice how, and let me take you into the morning of the 13th. A lot of activity up in the Pacific Northwest, Idaho, Montana. Let me back this up. So all of that starts in the Pacific Northwest and then moves down from there. May dive into Colorado and Utah by Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and then move through. But another big storm, look at Monday morning hitting the Pacific Northwest. That's going to be a big one with spillover action into BC, Idaho, and Montana. And then Tuesday morning, it's still there. It's still getting hit. All right, now let's look at my totals for the West. All of today through the 11th. Some good totals. I told you yesterday I might bump those Wasatch numbers up closer to 10, and that's what I'm going to do today. 10 to 12 over the Tetons, and in Colorado, 6 to 12 on the way with higher amounts over Wolf Creek. Northern New Mexico looking really good. Good skiing there on 10th and early 11th. So that'll run us through the 11th. Here's phase 2 right here, and this will run us from the 12th into the 17th. Notice where the storm track shifts, really favoring the Pacific Northwest. 2, 3, 4 feet of snow possible up there over Stevens, Baker, and Whistler. We'll have to watch the snow levels with this because if it does turn into a weak atmospheric river, that tends to push snow levels high. So that's something to watch. But look at the spillover action in the Red Mountain, Revelstoke, Sunshine, Fernie, Schweitzer, Brundage, and so on. And some of that moisture will then move south and late in the period and start to affect the Tetons. So that's something to watch. And look what I did here for the Northeast. So if the 12th pans out and it's a colder storm, then we're talking a foot or more of snow. I'd say 90% of the totals you see right here would occur on the 12th, which means storm seeing on the 12th, gray powder on the 13th. That means a great weekend. You can see some of the numbers. If you can stay in Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine, that's where the big numbers are going to be. In particular, Mount Washington and over into Vermont, we could see 1.5 feet of snow in some of those areas. So a lot to look forward to with that. Let's end on my totals again. All of today through the 11th. We should have some excellent skiing on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, northern New Mexico. So there you go. That's the way things are shaping up and shaking out at this point. Take care. We'll do another update tomorrow. Have a good day.